Thank you, Shelley. So I will be presenting the Hunger-Free Kids work. My name is Amanda Mesha, and we're going to be talking about two initiatives that are part of the Hunger-Free Kids work, our CalFresh in Schools initiative and our PEBT work. So CalFresh in Schools, you just heard from Shelley about why CalFresh is so important, so impactful. And we wondered out loud and with the national partner No Kid Hungry, what would happen if we were proactively engaging in CalFresh outreach in schools? And so we started an innovative model to help families and schools enroll in CalFresh. So let's talk about what that work looked like. First of all, our goals. So if we're going to do this work, what were the goals in doing the work? Number one, we wanted to reach eligible families and school districts to enroll in CalFresh, but we wanted to use school districts because we believe they were trusted messengers. And we thought this is a really innovative way to encourage families to enroll. And by doing that, if we were able to increase enrollment in CalFresh, we would also increase federal funding for our local schools. And so our local schools in California are funded based off of free and reduced price meal eligibility. So it was a great talking point for families because sometimes they were a little shy about enrolling in programs for themselves, but if it also benefited their school, it was a powerful way to get them interested. And then a third goal was students who were eligible for CalFresh and enrolled were also then qualified for additional benefits like pandemic EBT. So there were lots of fantastic goals, and let's see how the project went. First, we really dove into having tailored messaging from our trusted messengers. So you'll see at the top here, we had Mountain Empire School District pair up with San Ysidro Health. We had flyers and social media posts from both or in both English and Spanish. And the message was also co-branded with Hunger Coalition and No Kid Hungry. So this information went out school-wide, and we were really successful. So we're going to share the results of our Sweetwater Unified Initiative. So we launched in just two schools in 3 months, and we were able to get an additional 204 families enrolled in CalFresh. And just to give you an impact statement there, in 2021, a family of four received around $835 a month. And so about 714 folks in just two schools were impacted by that work and getting onto CalFresh. It also meant 1,200 students got on PEBT, averaging or estimating around $450,000 in grocery money. And for those two schools, an increase of $115,000 in federal funding. So this program was highly successful, and we are now entering into our second year of this innovative work. We're the first group to do it in the nation, and we're looking nationwide and helping other school districts do it as well through funding from No Kid Hungry. Now I'm going to talk about PEBT, or pandemic EBT. PEBT was a lifeline for families during the pandemic. Grocery cards were sent to students' home addresses to cover the cost of meals that they may have missed while schools were closed due to COVID. And we found in this particular round of PEBT 2.0 that there were a lot of students and families who didn't get their cards because there were old addresses in the system. So the Hunger Coalition did what we do best. We joined forces with local politicians, legislators at all levels, and the USDA and California Department of Education and CDSS. And we said, we think you should reissue these benefits. We think families need another window. And it was granted. And this was huge because those benefits were, as you can see in the KPBS article, those benefits were $1,200 on average per student. So that was the great news. The bad news was that we were only given a month to do outreach to families to let them know, hey, you got to call this helpline and get your card out and ask for your card. So we launched a press conference. We got into every news publication that we could, and we also did what we did again. We created um, branded materials, social media posts, and also had a partnership with Mac Project. Mac Project was able to help one-on-one case issues. And I want to take a moment to pause and say there was a request for emergency funding for this work. So thank you to any of you who may be on the call who provided that emergency funding, who allowed this work to happen. It was extremely critical. And here's what happened. So we worked, or here's our impact, I should say. We worked with 17 local school districts who knew the students who hadn't used their cards yet. And we were able to get 3,500 cards reissued in San Diego County, amounting $4.4 million in benefits in San Diego. And we also want to humbly but firmly pat ourselves on the back for the statewide number. 12,247 cards were issued statewide and $15 million in benefits statewide. And because we led the statewide advocacy, that's why we are highlighting that number as well. So thank you again. Hope you enjoyed this presentation on just a little bit about Hunger Free Kids work. I am